it is time to enter the fourth part, which is Seventh Evil Brother, Cult Magic, Formula, plant-like mutants, hide in a mine, could not walk anymore, read by followers, and a safety inspector. So let's go! And I suppose that's supposed to be a mining hard hat, but it just kinda looks like a fedora to me and makes me think we are playing as some kind of Indiana Jones-like thing. Oh yeah, let's this on. Now that I think of it, I guess this 4 pixel bit here is supposed to be the lamp on the helmet. But we are at the entrance elevator. Which does not work. What about this chap here? Barely conscious. Hello, sir. So, when you say to get a doctor, are you talking about getting a doctor in general, or are you saying there's a doctor down here? But we'll just grab anything that looks useful on you. And yes, this screwdriver is our first weapon. And you might say this is our second weapon, with fungicide in it. Is funguses really such a big problem in mines that you would need that down here? And here we have our first enemy encounter. Oh, first date, no tongue. Well, you are missing a lot, but then again, so am I. Oh, I was remembering that direct hand-to-hand combat would be in general a bad idea in this section. Well, maybe it is. So, there's our first jolly death scene for this section of the game. Now, let's see how we can handle this much easier. Like so. And leaves behind a body with nothing really on it. Green vines. And here are moving vines. And we can try to cut them off, and I am rather curious what you actually intend to cut them off with. I mean poke them with the tip of the screwdriver until you manage to cut all the way through. Well, it's just vines. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. See? Perfectly fine. Well, let's try going around and, for instance, following the rails. Oh, someone pushed a cart down and that happened. Well, let's do this again, and this time dodge the card. I think this is far enough. Yes, there it goes. And there it stops, and far too heavy to move. I mean, it's got wheels, it's on rails, it's supposed to be relatively easy to move. Otherwise, what's the point? And there, for some reason, there is absolutely no way to get past it, even though it looks like you should be able to easily climb over it or squeeze past the side. And there's an iron bar, which is another weapon we can use. But won't do any good to have it blocking the way there. Well, let's remove the vines here. Let's see what else we have. I thought there was an enemy around here. And here is a pickaxe, which is another weapon we can use. And this seems like a silly way to attack with a pickaxe, just thrashing with the tip like that. I mean, I would imagine this gentleman would know that you are supposed to swing it and hit things with the pointy parts. Nothing here. Just going around to get the experience. And here we have a gas bottle for welding, and a welding mask, and a welder. Now, given how these vines in general aren't really moving, I have to wonder how it ended up being crushed against the wall like this. I mean, was he napping, standing up, and vines grew around him? And a pot. I don't know. It doesn't look particularly unfriendly to me. I'm sure we can just go past it. Oh, it's got an eye! And it puffs out fumes. Do a nasty thing on your lungs and apparently eyes as well. Unfortunately, just holding your breath and running past is not an option. We have to do this, or... Oh. Well, let's see about this pickaxe, which you are still using wrong, my good sir. Wow. And that's what happens when you get clawed to death here. Oh, let's keep using the sprayer. And another one of those pods that looks like it's maybe facing the other way. There is actually a way to get past those pods safely, but it requires something in particular, and here is a charred wood beam, and we can scrape off charcoal from it. And it seems a bit odd that the only spot where you can get charcoal, given there's all this wood around and there's like these lamps and we even have a lighter. I mean, why can't you make your own charcoal? Also relating to the enemies, I'm not sure which, but either the enemies do not respawn at all, or they respawn at a very slow rate. With one exception. And here we have a generator with a gas tank, and the generator is not actually hooked up to anything. And here we have a closed off section and a padlock. And the interface spoils that we are not going to find a key, but we will have to assemble the welding equipment to cut open the lock. And the shovel is yet another weapon. Okay. I was worried for a bit that might have been too early. Actually, I'm going to head back, because going forward to that way would soon lead us back to the rails. And I do not want to trigger the card. Oh. I'm not sure if that was something that spawned afresh, or whether that was just a wandering monster that had wandered there. Anyway, what's here on this? Oh no, oh dear. I might as well turn around from here. And here that is again. Poke over here for the exploration experience. And this time let's not rush into the pod. Here? Yep. Now if we turn to the right here, shall find a loose wooden beam, which has a drop command on it. So what we need to do with this is that we are already heading back. Let's drop it here. Up. And that was again very silly of me. Up. Up. And it... I'm not sure, but I may have just blocked off that side path, so let's drop it here instead. Right, the cart comes to a stop there. Let's use this as a weapon. And that is a spot where we can get around to the other side, going over here. There's not really any reason to go directly in fighting hand to hand against the mutants as long as you have stuff to spray them with. A bit odd that you can't actually use the welding equipment to attack them. Even though otherwise you do make use of a fair bit of improvised weaponry in this section of the game. Up. And there's the generator again. Don't worry about running out accidentally. The game will inform you when you are actually about to run empty. And in here we have people, but alas, this is also locked up. And over here... So, we are out of fungicide. Wait, so the vines obviously they are not fungus. Oh, I'm not sure how feasible it would be to have a fungicide that does not harm any other forms of plant. Anyway, now when you run out of the poison, you can fill the spray with gasoline. then... Now what happens when you go spraying? Well, this does. And it kills the plant life. Just the same, yeah. If I had dropped the prop one square further here, that would have blocked me off. Oh, well, here's a new type of pod. I'm sure it's going to be just fine. They keep going for the eyes. Well, let's do this again and again. And I believe heading to this eastward direction we shall find the final piece of the welding puzzle. Let's see, what's this way? Toolkit. An electrician's tools. Again, how do the bodies get crushed like that? Oh. I just realized I forgot to scrape the charcoal this time. I imagine these tools will be used to fix the elevator. And now that we have all the equipment, we can do this. Well, you stay there. I'll be back for you shortly. Well, let's see what's in here. Yes. Operating welding equipment in the vicinity of high explosives. That seems perfectly safe. Now the charcoal should be around here. Going this way because well, you'll see soon. Let's go back here where we picked up the loose beam and try to be careful enough not to get accidentally killed. Now it was to the right. Now instead let's proceed to path not taken. And that's a nice little animation when the body of these things catches fire, and that See, they seem oddly flammable for being, well, living beings. Here we have yet another place where we can cut the lock. Here we have a couple of Molotov cocktails, couple of empty glass bottles, which we can throw. Now, what is inside? Well, this seems useful. We also have the gas mask. Unfortunately, no filters. But as you should know if you paid attention in chemistry class, coal can be used, or charcoal can be used to bind all sorts of chemicals. So, and handkerchief provides a decent container to permeate it, and now we have an improvised gas mask filter. And this is what allows you to get past the puffy pods safely. Also, I think okay, let me back up, because I want to test. Namely, oh yeah, and this is using the iron bar as a weapon. Poke, poke. Yeah. Hand-to-hand combat not terribly effective in this part of the game. I want to check if this is going to... if wearing this stuff is actually going to show in the death scene. Come on, just another hit. Yes! That's some nice attention to detail. Anyway, well, that's everything in this branch of the tunnels. And I'll make my way back to the prisoners. And we shall continue from there in the next video, since we'll probably be talking to them for a while.